by the time of this review, this movie has been reviewed by critics and gave it a 94%, and the audience 85%. Imagine a movie inspired by Quentin Tarantino, the hero as a descendant of John Wick, but it's not, but it can be, but it's not. This is our movie review of Sisu. Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. I am Angel,
I'm Adan.
where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoilers. How was your audience when you went?
About 10 people besides myself. They were actually pretty quiet. There was a couple scenes where we openly all laughed. One or two scenes where you could hear some, like, including myself, go, ooh.
Does it have to do with the airplane?
A little bit before the airplane, the motorcycle.
Right. Oh, okay. All right, got it. It was me and Kim.
Yep.
And maybe 4 other people. So 6 of us altogether. Again, it's our day before the national premiere. Also, in IMAX, they had a free viewing of Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, or Volume 3, excuse me. So I guess people went to see that. I tried to see it, but I couldn't get the tickets. But anyway, this movie started off awesome. It was, I would say, to the point. It was simple. A man who had a story behind him, like you saw the scars when he's taking a shower or bathing. You know, scars tell stories, right? And the way his scars were, it was like, this guy has seen some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And it's during the time of World War II or towards the end of it.
Yeah.
And all he wants to do is live his life. He's forced back into his violent ways or violent days, just like John Wick, where John Wick gave up that life and then he's forced back into it. He finds gold and he's trying to cash it in, and then he meets Nazis along the way that try to stop him and try to take his gold, and he's like, I was following along with the story. Even though some things were far-fetched, I was like, you know what, I'm going to just go for the ride until
the
airplane scene.
Oh, that was the most over-the-top part.
Right. I mean, other things were over the top too in certain ways, but that was like, come on. I was like, now they went Mission Impossible here.
I mean, the guy survived underwater by breathing air through slit holes in other people's lungs.
I know.
Is it that much far-fetched at that point?
Yes. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. Listen. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how the body works when it's dying and it's slit underwater. But I know that you cannot hold on to a handle of that's going picket axe, whatever. But the thing is, the same token, you cannot hold on to it. I'm sorry, unless it had like a bump on the handle. Maybe you can hold on to it, but at that super speed, no, I'm sorry. I don't care how strong you are.
I mean, if we're comparing, could Tom Cruise really hang on to the side of a door hinge on a plane by the tips of his fingers as it's flying through the air? Going at a faster speed, mind you.
True, but that's a little more believable, even though he did do it. The thing is, he actually did do it, even though he was strapped to the plane. And you can see it in the pre-production before they edit out the straps that's attached to the plane. But he actually did it. Here, the guy didn't actually do it. And also, he's not attached to the plane. The picket axe is, but he's not. He's holding the handle.
But Tom Cruise in the movie wasn't attached to the plane. He was hanging on by his... Was he?
I'm saying like his body was flattened against the plane.
Oh.
Tom Cruise. He was. He wasn't like hanging freely and swinging wildly through the wind and air. No, he was attached there. But like I said, in pre-production, behind the scenes, you see there's like straps that's attached to him, to a harness that's attached to the plane by that door.
No, I was just talking about in perspective of like in the movie itself, because I understand special effects and all that jazz, but
right, okay, but the thing is, like, he's there. Well, this guy is just hanging freely, holding on, and he's just like going like this. And then also with that speed, his hair, his clothes is not really moving. It's not moving like as if wind is going through there. And then the picket axe disengages, and he slides and he perfectly catches on the rear wheel and then he's able to break in. I was like, come on. Really? I was like that like I was okay. Like I said, I was okay until that part. Yeah, there's some other things there that was crazy, but it was just like, really? Okay.
Listen, by that point, I was in so much disbelief. I'm like, I'm just going with it. This man's a Terminator.
Terminator meets John Wick and what have you.
Well, like I was thinking about it in the theater. I was like, wow, what did you have before the Baba Yaga? You had Korpi, who
Cool.
was the Baba Yaga of the Russians, and Baba Yaga was was his adopted family. It, like, it could be in the John Wick universe because
They could have just said that. They gave him the name of the immortal. It says, just call him Baba Yaga. Just call him Baba Yaga.
just
Just do it. Just do it. Just say it. And there was
you know
like
you want to.
the immortal. I was like, oh my God, really? The immortal? I was like,
I mean, as many injuries as
lost
that guy got,
opportunity.
he might have been.
Right. But he could have been called because John Wick, the tale with the Russians,
Oh,
call him
absolutely.
Baba Yaga, and you have this guy who killed like 300 over 300
Yeah, three over
Russians.
300 confirmed. That means
Right.
there's other ones that they couldn't confirm. Uh,
Correct. So it would have been perfect just to have that tie-in. Even if it didn't, it's just, hey, can we do this? Make it Eric. And he could have been like an ancestor
or
of
if
John.
the gold turned into the gold coins.
Yes, like there's so many opportunities that were missed here. So many opportunities. When I first saw it, I did have the inkling of John Wick and also the Northman
Yeah,
because of how like
the environment and the
the
music.
environment, the music, the lighting. Yeah, it's very
Mhm.
dim, dismal, just like how the Northman was.
I also got
This
like
is
those old 1950, 60 films, Chapter One, and I'll do the like, you know what I'm talking about?
But yeah, but that's also Quentin Tarantino, like with Kill Bill,
Yeah, but he's doing that as homage to those films, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
right?
yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. This is how it's like also that in that way, or Inglorious Bastards. This is very violent and like perfectly violent. I think it didn't go over the top, in my opinion.
no, there was
Some of it,
parts that like it could have went over the top and it kind of pulled back, like with the soldier that they strapped to the tank. I was certain like, oh, he's gonna get the worst.
at the end,
Yeah, the soldier that was hanging from the
right?
tank, right?
Right. I thought the girls were going to shoot him,
Or he
like
was gonna get the
surround it.
pickaxe to the head, something like that.
Right, but and he should have, but like he should have gotten it like worse
He
because
has he Yeah,
he was raping the girls
it was
when he was one
insinuated.
of them. No, he did.
Yeah,
He also shot at the guy. He hung the hero
yeah.
and all the stuff. And so like he got off easy, in my opinion, in the sense like he could have been a lot. It should have been a lot worse.
Oh,
Should have been a
absolutely.
lot worse. It's directed and written by Jamari Helander. I liked the characters themselves individually.
Yeah.
They were intriguing to me. The action was relatively good.
Hmm.
It's just that again, the plane thing just threw me off, took me out. It took me out of the movie. I was following it, but it just took me out.
I mean, if they left it for the sequel, would you have been okay by that point?
Is
I'm
there gonna
not.
be a sequel?
No, there's not. I'm saying
Oh,
if there was
okay.
going to be a sequel, would you have been okay at that stage? Because that's like the transition of John Wick. John Wick started off normal, and then now he's on God mode.
Well, yeah, but they also say like in John Wick 4 that is a representation of a fallen angel going to heaven. That's why
So Corpi is like Dante's Inferno.
maybe because the character kills so many people, so I guess he had to suffer some more before he can claim his prize, which was the gold he found. I don't
Well,
know.
I just threw that out there. I mean, yeah, I guess.
But and then here's another in comparison to John Wick. He has a dog
Oh,
that's right by
absolutely,
his side, which that
absolutely.
dog always finds him. Is like, how the hell?
That was the most disbelief I had. So, like you were saying the airplane, I was like, how the hell is this dog getting to him?
Right. And then he comes back to where the plane took off.
Hmm.
He finds the same. I mean, that's several miles. That's several hundred miles away.
The
I
plane
don't know about
crashed.
100.
The
Okay, that's
plane
another.
crashed,
The
and the
whole
dog
thing is
shows up.
disbelief. No, 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 no. He goes back to the same motorcycle that he left
Oh, that's
when he got onto the
true.
plane.
So the dog was
He
ahead of him.
traveled. yeah, so the dog didn't go that far. He went far enough for that motorcycle, but he traveled. They, of course, they didn't show it, but he traveled from where the plane crashed to that motorcycle. And what I'm saying is, and I don't know how many. I know it's not definitely not hundreds, but it's definitely like 20 to 40 miles already,
in that short
or
amount
maybe
of time.
more. Yeah, and that flight and how it descends and all this
Hmm.
stuff.
I
Anyway,
mean, at that I laughed when he got out the mud. When the plane crashed, I'm like, he's gonna be like either standing there or coming out the mud, and I'm
right,
and I'm thinking to myself, this man just outdid Captain America
right.
because that's what Captain America did. He crash landed a plane into icy waters, and he came out like it's not. He's like, ah,
But the thing that the plane like disintegrated.
oh yeah. Well,
It
that was
crashed.
it
It blew
crashed
up.
into a swamp.
Yeah, the swamp wasn't that big. That plane was huge.
It was a big plane, yeah. They
The
could have
plane was
easily brought
huge.
that other guy onto the plane.
I'm just saying, it's like it pretty much like it landed. It blew up. There was an explosion.
Yeah.
When the smoke cleared, like it just disappeared, like I said, incinerated.
Yep.
And then he comes up. He secures himself by pinning himself against the back wall, or not the back wall, but against the wall with this some rope. I'm like, no, dude, you'd have been definitely your back would have been shattered, and you'd have been burned up.
I mean, he should
But
have
he
been
did.
destroyed a lot of ways before
Oh, I know.
the hanging. That was I was cringing on the hanging and the impromptu surgery he was doing on himself.
But the thing is, like he kept himself up with putting a rusty
Yeah, like a
steel
rebar.
pin in his thigh and holding himself up by that nail in his foot.
Hmm.
I was like, come on. I mean, I understand there's like drive there, but at the same token, it's like this guy needs like 20 tetanus shots.
At least I guarantee he has like more infections than anybody ever realized in the
I
record
know, because
history.
he got
But
shot in the bicep and he covers it with mud.
was that? I thought it was ash, like from the burnt truck.
Maybe, I don't know, but regardless, there's a opening in his bicep.
Yeah, and he just covers it with like either ash, dirt, mud.
It was
It's just
something. It
something
was.
he just grabbed randomly and just covers
I
it and
know.
then folds a piece of cloth over it. And I'm like, there is no science that says that's okay.
With all this craziness, is there a scene that you liked?
Okay, so the first scene with the Nazis,
The one that they're trying to take his gold and they're about to shoot him from behind?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that wasn't bad. That was actually pretty decent. The landmines, because
Oh, right. It's right after that.
is
Okay.
right after that. That one I think was more impressive and hysterical at the same time
Right.
because at one point I'm like, he turned into Wonder Woman.
I said that to Kim as well. I was like, it was just like shot to shot where he's standing,
He's like,
backing up slowly with with his gold finder, whatever that thing
it's
that he
just
uses.
like a tray, like
Right, I know, but it can withstand bullets. That's how good it
apparently,
is.
apparently,
And I was like, what? And then he's just standing tall, like she did in her movie, where I was like, they're not hitting the legs, and is in the dark. He's like, not in the dark, is in the clouds. Like there's all like debris from when he activated some mines. So
yeah,
they're just shooting it. They're shooting like
like the scene from the Predator where they're
Predator,
just shooting
right?
and they don't know
They're
what
all
they're
shooting
shooting at.
exactly. I mean, granted, he does get hit. That's where we see that he's putting the bandit,
And
the
and
mud.
and the leg too. Yeah.
Right. So he did get shot, but for the most part, he's blocking almost everything blindly as they're shooting at him blindly. That was also comical. That kind of reminded me of Bruce Lee's The Way of the Dragon with Chuck Norris in the alley where he's fighting a gang and he takes down two guys, and the leader is like, get him,
Oh yeah, and the guy's like, go
get
into the
him.
field.
Right,
It's
go
like
in the
you
field.
two.
Right, he won't go there, but he'll send his goons, his subordinates in there
Oh, absolutely.
instead. So that kind of reminded me of that.
The
It
same
was
thing
cute.
happened in the water when we were talking about earlier, where
Hmm.
he's like, go in the water. And the guy jumps in, and then you see the bubbles with the blood, and then he goes, you go in the water. And the third
Right.
guy just like decides, the third guy looks over the boat and see Corby's face like underneath the water. He's like, nope. He starts rowing. He's like, if
Right.
you abandon, we will shoot you.
But isn't that like, kind of like a hypocrite?
Well, the
Because he was
captain.
supposed to, yes, Bruno, he was given orders and he disobeyed orders.
Oh yeah, no. But the other men don't know this. The only other one that knew it was
The wolf.
Wolf. Yeah.
Right. And the other guy, the driver of the tank, Schutz.
Yeah, just by proxy.
The thing is, like, he's breaking the rules himself while he's trying to enforce it. He's being a hypocrite. He's being a Republican. Like Kim, because Kim watched it too. She was in it with me too. And also at the same token, the plane scene, she was like, no. Well, I guess she followed my suit because my hands went up. I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Now the girl too, I know. That's what I have here. Is it I know? Or I know. That the Jewish girl, the brunette. I just found it funny that she knew who he was. I mean, I guess because she's Finnish.
Yeah, she is. Well, yeah, she is Finnish.
Is it Finnish or was it Finland? Is it what is there? Is it Finnish?
They were in Finland, and
Right,
so
but
it's
what
Finnish.
do you call it? What? Yeah, let me see. I want to say.
I double
No,
checked
I
her.
just want to make sure.
It says she is Finnish.
That's the name of the people.
She is a Finnish Jussi. Juicy. Jussi. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
She performed in both roles that are Finnish and Swedish languages,
Okay.
but she's predominantly Finnish, if I'm correct.
For me, my favorite scene, I guess, is the first one where we see him take out those 4 Nazis. Was it 4 or 5? Especially with the knife right through the head. That was a shocker.
Yeah.
And intense. He took the other ones, even though I thought they had the guns out already, but apparently they didn't. So they were like trying to get the guns out. But I thought they already had it out. Like,
some of them did. Like the first guy he got with the knife clearly had his gun out.
no, of course. But I'm talking about after that. I thought the others too, who were digging into the bags, finding the gold. All right, because they had their rifles, and I was like, how come they're not shooting them so easily? They're like NPC characters where they're just trying to like fondle, like trying to get the gun ready, and then they get. But anyway, my worst scene is the whole plane episode. That, to me, I'm sorry, that just took me out. And then he's getting hit nonstop with a freaking steel whip, if you will, at the end, that handle. That I was like, you could have done that earlier. You could have put it on the guy attached to that bomb earlier. But no.
I think they played it like he didn't notice it, but
come on. And he just gets a little scar. I mean, I'm sorry. What about you? Do you have a low point?
Okay, besides the dog. For me, the dog was more low than the plane. Because I was like, I couldn't believe it. The 50 caliber, when he's running away, going back to the water.
Oh my God, yes.
He picks up the body of the one guy, and I'm thinking maybe he chose to help the guy. And no, he's using him as a shield as he's running away, and they're using a 50 caliber. The gun from Rambo that cut people in half. Right. They're using that, and it's just blocking the shots. And he
got hit in the leg too,
and the leg's still there.
Right, right. I mean, no. Granted, Rambo may have been like a little more extreme in the sense of cutting people in half like that, but a body is just made of flesh. It's not bulletproof. It's not steel.
Yeah.
So if that person gets hit with that Philly caliber, well, the body's gonna go. The caliber, excuse me, is gonna go right through that dead body and hit him.
Oh, I agree.
Easily,
even with the assault rifles that they were using.
Yes.
And it's not like they were wearing body armor at the time. So
exactly.
Yes, this movie's full of disbelief. He survived. Like he got injured on the horse when it exploded, which caught me off guard. Like I kind of sensed that he was in a minefield, but then when the horse went boom, and I was like, oh.
Right. I was wondering because myself too, because they were just on the tank just watching. So why are they staring? And I was like, and then we realized because.
Mm-hmm. And then that was my moment where it's like, oh, now he turns into John Wick. He killed his horse because he was like hugging the horse and like he laid down on the horse for a moment. Like he's gonna turn full John Wick here. No, he held it back. It was only when
Yeah.
they grabbed his gold. I thought that dog died too when they
The
strapped the
grenade.
bomb. Yeah, the grenade. And he threw it. I'm like, oh, the dog's dead. You can't tell
Well,
me
no,
that dog's alive.
I saw him. He had the dog in his arms.
Yeah, but it was facing the bomb when it
No, no, no,
exploded.
no, no, no. He threw it. He threw it in the air, and it just took them back. But I'm surprised. Like the dog has like
But
that doesn't
he
have
ended up
doesn't.
with shrapnel,
Yeah,
and the dog didn't.
but that shrapnel could be also from other things. Because remember that the mines.
I
He,
guess
the horse is right there. Remember the horse stepped on the mine, and then he was on top of the horse. So it could be a multiple of things.
it could be. I mean, there was just so much that happened to that
Right.
guy.
No, true. I mean, it's like saying like the dog got shot at itself. It got thrown and tossed around. Not a limp.
Mm-mm.
No limp whatsoever.
That's the real super soldier. That dog. That
Yeah.
dog has the best tracking skills, has the best survival skills,
Yeah.
and it's like Corpy 2.0. It's just like it can't die.
I just felt bad because he just left it everywhere, anywhere. He just took off, and the horse. I mean, the dog is like, "Where? What? I just went to get some water. What the? Now he's gone again. Jesus."
I mean,
Like I thought the dogs were gonna jump off
the pier.
the plank, the pier, to swim after him, but he just stood there. I was like,
Yeah.
and Kim got nervous because she thought they were gonna like stab the dog, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
I thought they were gonna do something worse to the dog.
Yeah,
But
me too.
until I saw the grenade, I'm like, oh, it's gonna die. And then that was another thing. When they hung him, where was the dog? The dog is his spirit animal. I'm just saying. The dog wasn't there when they hung him. The dog showed up after he was.
After.
Yeah.
I know it's just weird. It's just randomness of this dog. Is like it runs away, it comes back, it
I
runs
figured
away,
it
it comes
out.
back.
It's
What?
just like the crow. The dog doesn't let him die. That's why he keeps
Okay.
manifesting.
Still sucked. But
I mean, it's more plausible than what we saw.
no, you're right. You're right. There's a underlining or what have you or connection that we don't know about. But yes, I can definitely see that. Again, the critics have given it 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience has given it 85%. I have to give it into the 70s. I'm sorry, I running good, but then the disbelief and all this stuff of how this guy is just living, it is in par of John Wick in the sense of how John Wick will be thrown off cliffs or 4 stories down and still survives, gets shot out, gets hit by cars, run over, flips, and he still lives. Same thing here with this guy. He's getting shot at, hung, blasted, all that stuff, but he still lives. He freaking survives a disintegrated plane.
Does his own surgery. No, like way worse than Rambo ever did.
John Wick did the same thing. John Wick gave himself a surgery at the end of the first film.
Yeah, but he didn't disinfect the wound with gasoline.
I know. I'm just saying though. It's like there's some parallel to both characters and movies.
In my mind, that can't disinfect that. I don't think that's how that works.
Right. Now, what about you? Do you agree with the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes? 94 critics, 85%. Again, as the time of this viewing.
I'll give it a 78. I'll put it in the category of a guilty pleasure, but not. We might as well jump into this part. I don't think it's worth the price of admission at going to the theater.
I agree with that. I will even say it's a waste of time.
If I saw this on like Netflix, I would say much more better for it.
Okay, my rating would have changed if they referred him as Baba Yaga, or at the end when he went to the bank and they asked her if the teller asked his name and he said like Tommy Wick, like something like that, like to say the name, just one other references to connect to the John Wick universe.
Or if it said like in Finnish on the building, "Welcome to the Continental."
Yes. So like yes. Oh my yes.
If she said like "Welcome to the Continental," how could I help you?
Yes. So like that, like small, like just one phrase or something like that. That would have been awesome. I mean, I had to give some credit that the hero only has 3 lines
Oh, I caught
at
that
the
too.
end.
It's only at
He
the end.
says
If you
only at the
count the
end.
hollering at the beginning, you were just like, ah, that's it.
Yeah, sure, okay, but he only has like Rambo in in First Blood, like John Wick and John Wick 4, where there's like very minimal lines. This guy beats the cake. I think he beats the cake. I think no other movie that I know of has the hero only says 3 lines. I don't know of any other movie besides silent film
There's a
where
Nicolas
there's
Cage film,
what's that one called? Ooh,
Willy's Wonderland. He never says a
yeah.
word,
Oh, really?
not one
That's
word.
surprise. I never saw that movie, but I'm surprised that Nicolas Cage
I watched it.
doesn't
I
say.
laughed, and it's insane.
If they just did it in the sense of connected to John Wick one way or another, that universe would have made that
Even if it
disbelief
was, even if it was like a
acceptable.
homage thing, because technically, I think they're two different companies and they can't really do it. But if they
But
like
still, no, true, I understand.
referenced, yeah, that would have been like unofficial connections. People would have been
Yeah,
losing their shit.
I would have. I would have been
Yes.
all right. Well, because okay, because the previews, how the previews came out, it gave that sense. It was like a John Wick esque kind of universe,
Yeah, I can see that.
and pretty much it did in the sense of how he took out these Nazis and how he survived and the craziness of that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad did see it, so now I know not to see it again. All right, guys, that is our movie review of Sisu. If you saw it, let us know what you thought about it. What was your favorite moment? What was your worst moment? Is it a waste of time or is it worth the price of admission? If you have a movie for us to review, please email us at talesoftvbros@gmail.com or leave a description below. Until the next time, will be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.